Present. On.
Would you please join us as we honor our country with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hold up. On. Face. Forward. On. Let's go. Move. Face. Forward. On. Present. On.
You may be seated. Good morning and welcome. I am Tim Pitts, the Fire Occupational Extension Director for GTCC. This morning we gather for the rescheduled graduation ceremony of the 35th Fire Academy. Thank you all for bearing with us in the weather and all that stuff out of our control. This ceremony is the culmination of 4.5 months of challenging mental and physical efforts. Cadets, I commend you on your staying the course and your perseverance. I'm proud of you and your accomplishments. First, let me recognize a few folks from GTCC. Dr. Jeremy Bennett, our Dean of Human Services, Public Safety, and Physical Education Division here at GTCC. Also, Sierra Graham, our administrative assistant. She handles all the paperwork and the payroll, and her full-time job is keeping us on the straight and narrow path. Thank you, Sierra, for all you do. Our Fire Academy Coordinator, Battalion Chief Adam Williams, who supervises all of the instructors, maintains order and discipline among our cadets, plans and organizes all of the activities of the Fire Academy, and during all of this, he handles all the planning and communication between the parents and students of the next Fire Academy. Also, Battalion Chief Brian Wells, our part-time faculty member who teaches. He maintains and repairs equipment, and he prepares our resources for upcoming classes. Without Brian, our classes would not happen. All of our physical training instructors, Captains Corey Ranneman, Derek Wall, and firefighters Ian Trent, Tamika Brown, Ned Gertson, Andy Weldon, and Brandon Sams. These special instructors have worked daily to improve our cadets' physical condition and prepare them to pass the prerequisite physical agility tests that they will have to take prior to hiring by a fire department. Thank you also to our honor guard members from the City of High Point Fire Department, Captain Robert Templeton and firefighter Joseph Slade. Also to our bagpipe player, firefighter Ian Trent from Greensboro Fire Department. Thank you also to all the fire departments, the cities of Greensboro and High Point, and Gilbert County Emergency Services for their continued support of our program. This academy would specifically like to thank the Greensboro Fire Department for donating us a structure on West Friendly Avenue for the fire control portion of our academy. And finally, many, many thanks goes to the GTCC administration for the support of our program. Our program is actually envied by many other community colleges across our state. We have a lot of firefighting equipment and resources that other folks do not have. And now, let me turn our ceremony over to Battalion Chief Adam Williams, our Fire Academy coordinator.
Well, good morning. Thank you for coming to honor your friends and family on this very special occasion. The 35th Fire Academy began what seems like forever ago on August 1st, 4.5 months ago, and back then it was very sunny and warm, believe it or not. As you look at pictures in our slideshow, if you'll pay attention, you'll notice there's some evolutions that we were in shorts and t-shirts, and then at the end of the academy, I think they were all looking for coats and toboggans and long sleeve sweatshirts to put on. So it is certainly amazing in this short time how much the weather has changed, but also how much these cadets have changed. And in their perspective, the weather probably got worse, but these cadets have certainly improved head and shoulders from what we were when we started August 1st. They have completed 39 different classes, which equates to around 700 hours of fire and rescue training. They participated in physical training, which we'll see a little bit of shortly, just to give you a sampling. And a lot of their physical or their practical exercises were very physically demanding, so they have done a tremendous amount. The Fire Academy has really been their full-time job for these past 4.5 months because, as you know, they were required to be here from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Some days they had to come in a little bit early to accomplish objectives, or we asked them to stay a little bit late. The dedication that they put into the Fire Academy means that their time with you, their friends, and their family usually gets limited. And not only does it require their time, but it requires a lot of their attention. And we know that it causes a lot of stress on them. And everybody handles that a little differently, but we know that many times that stress, they can keep it in check when they're in front of us, but when they come home, they may have been a little temperamental or short. So if you saw that during the last 4.5 months, we want to thank you as well for enduring through it all, and because you're dedicated to them as much as they're dedicated to us at the Fire Academy. I'm very appreciative for their hard work, their diligence, and we talked a lot about attention to detail, didn't we? So I'm very thankful for that, and I hope we were able to impart some of that on them, that they're professionals. The staff and instructors saw a lot of maturity and professionalism from this group. And let's face it, anytime, and we know this going in, that we take a group like this and put them in super stressful work conditions, attitudes and emotions can spill over, and this group handled that very well. So I thank you for that and maintained a lot of team continuity all the way up until the end. These cadets are excited and ready for a career in the fire service if they pursue it. It's very rewarding to know that some of them have already applied for jobs, and we wish them great success with that in their future endeavors. As Chief Fitz already mentioned, the Fire Academy cannot run without our administrative assistant, Sierra Graham. And so I thank her, as well as the Occupational Extension Director, Chief Tim Fitz, for all the help and support that they give us throughout the Academy, throughout the year. It also takes an army, literally, of professional instructors. I told you they've taken 39 classes with over 700 hours, and I'm going to recognize each of the instructors. We kind of started a new thing last Academy where we used to just ask them to stand. However, we miss a lot of folks because they're at their full-time jobs today, possibly riding fire trucks. So, in kind of a comical fashion, I'm going to read you the lists of the instructors that have imparted their wisdom and knowledge to these students, and I'll do it really quick. Jason Allred, Mark Arbenfield, Brian Baishman, Dustin Barnett, Michael Beck, Tamika Brown, Jonathan Bryant, Jamie Burgess, Rodney Kane, Jeremy Church, Brandon Cobb, Kirk Daniels, Darren Flippen, Steve Fuller, Chris Gibson, Ned Gertson, Alex Gossett, Brent Gray, Ken Gray, Scott Hampton, Justin Target, Chris Hicks, Justin Height, Terry Hines, Brad Jones, Dan Jones, Joe Kennedy, David Lewis, Marshall Moon, Philip Nelson, Justin Parrish, Mark Piles, Corey Randleman, Palmer Record, Phil Roof, Brandon Sims, John Terry, Ian Trent, TJ Wagner, Derek Wall, Derek Wall, Andy Weldon, Greg Westbrook, Randy Woody, Ben Wright, and Curtis Wyrick. If they're here, will they please stand up, and we'll give them a round of applause. What you're seeing now is our physical training program is a vital part of our academy. You may have heard your friends and family talking about how this is what they do pretty much 1 hour each morning. We do that because the exercises serve to improve their aerobic ability and their strength. Within really any emergency services, especially the fire service, we have health and wellness has really become an important topic on the job because we understand that the job takes a significant physical toll on the body. And there's studies and a lot of research that show that if you're more physically fit going in, then you're going to spend less sick time. Your chances of getting injured on the job are less. And there's a lot of mental health things that go along with that too. It's a good stress reliever at times. There's no doubt that most of our cadets leave our program in much better physical condition than they had possibly ever been before. I'm always amazed to witness the first few days that they're doing physical training and then compare them to the last. Several of our cadets, as we mentioned earlier, have applied for firefighter jobs, and it's a great reward to hear them come back and say that they were able to knock out a physical agility course with no problem because our PT instructors are preparing for that. So, sort of like the physical agility program, we try to capture moments throughout the 4.5 months that we can reflect on today. Of course, take note that we're taking 4.5 months and showing you maybe 16 minutes of it in 2 parts. So I hope that the cadets really enjoy looking back over some of the memories and things that they've done over the past 19 weeks.
Cadets, this morning you graduate from the Firefighter Academy. You now have your foot on the bottom rung of the fire service ladder. I wish you all luck in finding jobs. We've done our best to provide you with the foundation that you will need to qualify for a job in the fire service. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe." You've just spent the last 20 weeks sharpening your axe. But don't let your head swell too much. As you have now finished your basic firefighter training, the reality is that you now know just enough to be dangerous to yourself and others. It's now up to you. Don't let up. In the fire service, be the first to step up and volunteer for the dirty jobs. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Listen to the veterans. Realize that you have a long way to go to earn their respect. Work hard and do your best, regardless of the task. Develop a reputation for always doing your best. You will feel better about yourself, and other people will notice. Keep up the daily physical training that you will need not only to get a job, but to do the job. Apply aggressively for firefighting jobs. Continue to read, learn, and attend as many classes as you can to make yourself a better firefighter. Don't let the distractions of this world deter you from aiming for and achieving high goals. I leave you with this, a quote from General Colin Powell. Success is the result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Life will be what you make out of it. It's not just in the fire service, but in all aspects of life. You will work with folks that their goal is just to be there and occupy a spot. Don't be one of those people. Give 100% effort, no matter what the circumstances. Remember, in this job, people's lives will depend upon you. Napoleon once gave his definition of a military genius. Listen to it. It also accurately describes the life of a firefighter. The man who can do the average thing when all around him are going crazy. Yes, it comes down to that. Can we remember how to correctly place a ladder at a second floor window when a mother is pulling on your coat sleeve at 2 a.m. and screaming that her child is in that room that the heavy smoke is pouring out of? Also remember, the term fire service has the word service in it. You are here to serve others, no matter their color or the amount of their wealth or poverty, or how good or how bad they smell. Never forget the golden rule in Matthew 7:12, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Cadets, thank you for the respect and cooperation that you've shown me in the last 20 weeks. Please call me or email me if I can ever do anything for you. Cadets, please rise. Cadets, right face. Cadets, please assume the presentation position and come forward when I call your name. Hunter Colin Benson. Morgan Paige Cassidy. Matthew Philip Cooper. Jorge Javier Flores. Zachary Philip Harvey. Megan Jean Harrington. Ricky Wilson Howard. Charles Allen McSweeney. Luke Aaron Nelson. Matthew Kirby Phillips. Daniel Connolly Richards. Nicholas Kyle Stiller. Zebulon Ross Corman Williams. Cadets, you may return to your seats. Cadets, please be seated. At this time, it's my pleasure to present 3 special awards. The first is an award to the cadet who has the highest academic average on all of the tests given during the 20-week period. It is my pleasure to present this award to Cadet Megan Harrington. The second special award is given to the cadet who has the best average time for the firefighter agility course. This course is a very demanding physical obstacle course involving climbing stairs with 100 foot of hose on your shoulder, hoisting a 50-foot section of 2.5-inch fire hose to the top of our 5-story drill tower, hitting a sledgehammer on a heavy sled 30 or more times, dragging a charge hose line 100 foot, and then finally dragging a 165-pound mannequin 100 feet. This award goes to Dan Richards. Finally, each graduating class is asked to select a fellow cadet that they feel best represents their class as the most outstanding cadet. All of the cadets have learned to stretch themselves both physically and mentally, and have learned to push themselves beyond what they thought were their limits. But this is the cadet the class thought did the best overall job. It is my pleasure to introduce their choice for the Most Outstanding Cadet Award, and it just so happens to be our class speaker, Dan Richards.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming to recognize the 35th graduating class of the GTCC Fire Academy. Over the past 4.5 months, we as a class have learned, studied, and trained to be in this room today. Some days certainly felt longer than others, but this day seemed to come much sooner than we thought it would. And while this may be the final day of Fire Academy, and possibly the last time all 13 of us sit in the same room together, it is also the beginning of 13 new careers and 13 friendships we didn't have a few months ago. As a class, we would like to say thank you to Chief Williams, Chief Fitz, Chief Wells, and Miss Sierra for all they do to keep this academy up and running, as well as uphold the standard this organization has established. We'd also like to thank every one of the instructors we had in and out of the classroom for the time, effort, and support they invested in us over the last few months. I don't think any of us really knew what to expect coming in on the first day. We probably didn't expect to be doing push-ups in the parking lot 1 hour into the day, though. Some of us entered this academy with some fire experience already under their belts, and others came in with little to none, except for maybe changing the occasional smoke alarm. There are a few key principles that we learned during this academy that we will all bring with us when we walk out these doors. The first is attention to detail. From checking your air pack every morning to making sure every item on the truck is accounted for, attention to detail proves to take under control and physically. Many of us quickly learned during PT that maybe we weren't as tough as we had thought. After one of our first morning workouts, Captain Randleman noticed how exhausted and out of shape many of us were. He told us, if you want to be a firefighter, you have to be willing to live in a constant state of discomfort. If you are unwilling to do that, there are plenty of other careers you can pursue at this college. Over the next 4.5 months, we endured intense PT sessions, the unforgiving heat of fire, and grueling 8-hour classroom days of hazmat. And we're all still here, maybe with a little thicker skin than we started with. Last is trust. When we started Fire Academy, we came in as individuals, all from different backgrounds, all with different experiences. We quickly learned, however, that teamwork is key to success in the fire profession. But without trust, there is no team. From climbing up a 35-foot ladder, knowing your teammate is butting it at the bottom, to rappelling down a 5-story tower, knowing your teammate is belaying you from the top, you have to trust the other person in order to accomplish the task. Trusting your teammate will do his or her job makes doing your job that much easier. In conclusion, we would like to share a few tips we learned over the last few months that we think may be beneficial for Class 36 and following classes. A firefighter Trent starts PT by saying, "Easy day." Get ready, because it will in fact not be an easy day. And if you don't recognize the name of an exercise, you probably don't want to. Don't leave your soap or shampoo in the shower after PT. You will never see it again. Correction, we got it back today. Unless you want to spend a whole day doing 500 plus push-ups, practice tying your knots. Hope you don't have too many birthdays during Fire Academy, because birthday burpees are a thing, and firefighter Trent saying happy birthday afterwards doesn't make them hurt any less. Don't drop a carabiner unless you want to wear it as a necklace the rest of the day. Don't leave your gear in your car on day one. Your classmates will not be happy with you. Lastly, keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. Listen and learn and earn respect. Take training seriously as if your life or your teammates' life depend on it, because someday that may be the case. So again, we want to say thank you for everyone who supported us and helped Class 35 get to where we are today.
ceremony, you may have noticed them attaching something to a board up here on the front table. We call that an accountability board. And for those of you not in the fire service, the accountability tags and the accountability board is done just so that we have an accounting of every individual that's present on an emergency scene. During the Fire Academy, we try to instill this practice by using that accountability board during their training evolutions. One simple definition of the word accountability is being responsible for your actions. Let that soak in just a minute. Being responsible for your actions. Cadets, we need accountability. Okay? And I don't mean accountability tags when we're on the scene, while that's important, but we need you to be accountable for all the aspects of your life, to be responsible for that. Take responsibility for yourself, take responsibility for your team, and take responsibility for your community. As you leave now, you're going to take those accountability tags with you to be symbolic of the fact that you're leaving the Fire Academy. I hope that reminds you of the past 4.5 months, the difficulties, the successes, and the knowledge that you have gained. And more importantly, I hope it's a reminder to be accountable in everything that you do. Cadets, please rise. Cadets, about face. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in congratulating the 35th Guilford Tech Fire Academy? Adjustments to your schedule so you can be here today. This concludes our ceremony. We always tell the cadets that if you want photo opportunities, they're more than welcome to come back in or get photos out by the fire trucks. Thank you so much.